module would be our denial of service attack, which is known as DOS. So in this chapter, we're going to learn about denial of service attack, which is a short form DOS, and distributed denial of service, which is our DDoS attack. So in this module, we're going to cover about the different types of attack also, which is our DDoS attacks, attacking techniques, concepts of botnets, you can see, attacking tools and their countermeasures. So the countermeasure words over here is to simply secure the network part. So what exactly the DOS attack over here means over here? See, a DOS and DDoS concept is given over here on the screen. So before that one, we're going to talk about what exactly the denial of service attack. So in the if I talk about the denial of service attack, it's a attack where an attacker or a pen tester simply check the limit of the server request handling time sequence. So it was a technical word, but if you talk about the refer to a book, it is a type of attack in which the service offered by the system or network is denied because an attacker simply sending some malicious request through the help of bots, which is our IoT devices. You can say zombies. Zombies are also known as your compromised services, compromised host over there. So services may either be denied or reduce the functionality to prevent access of the resources. So for example, if you're doing a www.google.com and if something went wrong and we are not able to access their website, so it means there might be some technical problems if the server is not handling the client request in a legitimate way because we are the legitimate users, the normal user we are talking about. So there are in this scenario we're going to learn about several perform different types of DOS attacks, such as we're going to generate a large number of requests because the request contains the simple source code. These large number of incoming requests overload the system capacity because over here through the denial of service attack, an attacker or the pen tester simply check the limitation or the capacity of request handling of a specific server. Because think about it, if this is a genuine website, any famous website, so it should be handle a proper www.google.com and any other things. So what could be the possibilities if an attack has been complete with the denial of service attack? So if the server has been attacked by the denial of service attack, it can simply slow performance. It can increase in spam emails, unavailability of the resources, loss of access of website, disconnection of wireless and wireless network devices, and denial of access of internal services also. Because it's already have been handling too many requests, so it's not be able to accept any legitimate users request. If I simply send a lots of requests to that specific server, it's gonna simply busy that server for checking one by one all the requests. So the major part over here is to simply check one by one all the things over here and the legitimate part. So if you see over here, distributed denial of service attack, this is similar to the DDoS attack we were talking about. But in this attacker is attempting to perform in distributed attacks, multiple compromised system are involved to attack a target causing a denial of service. Botnet are used for DDoS attacks. Before this one, if to perform DDoS attack, we have to use a bunch of armies, a bunch of compromised PCs, and we have to control them and send some request parameter to simple attack on the target part. Before that, let's have a look how a denial of service attack looks like. So over here, I have simply taken my Kali Linux, and I'm going to take my Windows 7 machine over here. You can see this is my Windows 7 machine. Let's check his IP address first of all. So IP config. So the IP address of this attack victim PC is 192.168.0.110. Okay, so let's try to use a simple task manager. So through the task manager, we're gonna simply check how an attack compromise or the networking traffic over here. So let's see the browser also. Okay, so this is okay. Ask me later about this one. Are you calling google.com or not? Yes. So let's download Google. I guess this will be not much good. So according to the attack, we're gonna create some DOS attack over here, but the major part will be how the attack will work. Same like this is DDoS is just like a similar to DOS attack, but DOS attack can be performed by a single server, and DDoS attack can be performed with the multiple server, just like this one. A single server can be also used to perform a DOS attack, but if you are using a bunch of armies, so that will count as a DDoS attack. So this will be the master, and these will be the slaves. So if you see we have how the distributed DNS service works, that's the important part. So normally and establishing connection. Basically, if you are making connection with any of the client host, so basically it will work on the TCP protocol. A user sends a request to the server to authenticate it. Yeah, this is the normal part. The server returns with the authentication approval, requesting user acknowledgement with approve, and then the connection is established and allowed to on the server part. So you can see the process of denial service attack sends several authentication requests to the server. Authentication request, it will be a simple client request. Yes. So you can see we have a normal browser over here. So the browser works on the port 8080. But the major part of what I'm going to see over here is to the networking part, how the network flow is working over here. So let's try a simple DOS attack with some of the tool. So over here we have lots of pen testing tool. So over here I'm going to use HPing 3. Okay. So HPing 3 is basically used to make customized packets. If you are talking about the packet, it's all about the TCP headers. Just like your fin, your sync, your RST, your push, your ACK, your argument, your XMS, and your YMS. So over here, we're gonna try to extend or penetrate. So let's have a look. What are the things we're gonna use over here? So we're gonna try the DOS attack with the help of HPing 3. You can see over here there are lots of blogs which is given over here. You can see HPing 3 flood DDoS. So over here we can't perform a DDoS attack with the HPing 3 because it's gonna use a single command host. And over here we're gonna try to use some of the HPing 3 commands to make a customized, or you can say the fragmented part. So you can see over here a simple DOS attack, not DDoS attack would be. So what exactly this capital S, and what is the use of hyphen flood with the hyphen capital V with the P port number? So let's see here. The capital S is based on the synchronization packet. Think about a sync packet will be used to initiate a connection. And if I talk about the hyphen flood, The hyphen flood is basically used to make send packet as much as possible. Don't show replies over here. And the capital V that was we're using over here, the capital V is used for verbose to check the output. So verbose. And the hyphen P, the P port, the P was basically used to destination port attack because we're gonna attack on the destination port services. So see this one. I'm gonna use this command over here. So we can use sudo hping 3 with the capital S with the hyphen flood with the verbose to see the output also and the port number that is gonna attack. We're gonna attack on the port number 80. So port 80 for the interface and port 80 for connection. And I'm gonna attack on my virtual victim. That would be my 120 and that was my Windows machine. So can you give me some time? I have a call to attend.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. So we were on the denial of service attack, and over here I'm gonna attack on the port number 80. So we're gonna use sudo hping 3 the command, and we are making our own customized packet. Okay. So if you want to simply analyze this packet over here, you can use TCP dump. I can see 50 packets, 100 packets will be okay, and that will be few. or we can use DST, the destination. I'm gonna use the destination service over here. Destination. I want to capture only packet 120. Okay, so we are on the packet mode. So what happened if I simply attack on the HPN3 with the capital S with the hyphen flood attack? So you can see over here, what will happen in the back end, there will be lots of packets. And these are normal packets over here. So the major objective over here is to simply understand the packet sending part. So you can see I was simply sending a synchronization packet, sequence number you can see over here. And the length of the packet was zero. There was an empty packet. These are empty packets. See, the length of the packet is zero because there was no other things. But if you look over here, it's gonna consume the memory in a simple different way. For example, if I use Chrome, if I use google.com over here, so you can see over here, it's going to take time to consume the memory of the part.
Partho, can we choose port 443 for this one?
Yeah, we can try that one also because it's going to attack on the port 443.
Okay.
So let's try the port 443 if you set this one. So it will simply busy the port number and it will consume the memory because in the back end, if you're using a Wireshark, you can simply see there are a lot of packet. For example, if I simply remove the iPhone 100 packet, you will see there are lots of packet has been generated. See, and if I didn't cancel this one, see how many packets has been captured? 2 lakh packet has been captured over here, which is basically flowing from my local server because I was using flood mode to send as much as possible packets. So if there is, if yes, Abhishek sir, yes.
So yeah, so now that means we are not able to access the internet, means over 443, right?
Because there will be
HTTPS will not work.
yeah, because there will be lots of packet over here, but it's gonna take some time to consume the memory.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, because of the ping blocking, or you can say the because I turned off the firewall. If there is a firewall, that it will not work. Hmm? If there is service running a firewall, that the packet will be filtered a normal way. But in this scenario, I simply turn off the firewall. That's why we can attack, and you can see in a single click how many packet I can simply send.
So if window firewall is on, then in that case, this tool will not work.
Yes, this tool is not gonna work over there.
So firewall will consider as a means as a DDoS attack and block it.
Yeah, because you can see over here, I simply want to capture the destination packet. That was 120.
Mhm.
That's why I use the TCP dump because if I use the Wireshark, it will simply hang my GUI server.
Okay, so Partho, how firewall know that it's a DDoS attack means there is no policy in the Windows firewall or it is inbuilt already?
Simple. If you talk about the firewall implementation, if they look in a second, if a per second there is a total packet of 100,
Uh-huh.
or if the packet are coming in 100 packets, if suddenly something happened, if in a minute if there is 1 lakh packet, so it will be a DDoS attack. In a regular traffic and in a simple other wave traffic, there will be a huge difference over here.
Okay,
So
but it is not sending ICMP packet. By default, ICMP is blocked by the firewall, right?
yes, yes, yes,
So,
yes.
so yeah, so we are sending TCP SYN, I think, right?
We are simply setting the sync packet over here.
TCP SYN. Okay. But
Yeah.
if it is exceeding 100 packets per second, in that case, firewall will be considered as a DDoS attack and block it.
Yeah, it will block the source code where the packet is flowing from.
Okay.
Okay. You can see that over here. So in this scenario, you can see there are lots of other techniques that we can use over here. Uh, I think my server is even hanged. Something happened over here. Yes. So you can see over here they are using HPing3 calls a program specify the sync packet flood or the direction, verbosity, port number, the target IP address. There are many other techniques that we can use over here. You can see you can use the domain name also. And you can simply set a data size of the packet also, the size of the packet. For example, we can simply use one more command just like this one. HPing3, the number of packets that I want to send is 10,000 packets, but each of the packet will be 128 bytes. And I'm gonna use the sync packet on the port 80, and I'm gonna use the flood mode. But over here, I want to use my RAND source because I want to hide my IP address and the target IP. So, so if I use the TCP dump over here again, -I ETH here with the DST, the destination which I want to SAM. But I think we should simply capture only 1,000 packet will be enough. Yeah, 500 packet will be enough. Yeah, 100 packet will be enough because I don't want to capture all the packets. So it's gonna start in a few minutes. So you can see now the IP address is changing. See this one, sir. You can see the IP address has been changed according to this.
So these random IP address, source IP address, it's generating by itself, right?
It's gonna generate from the random source.
No, that is okay. But means, is there any list already you configured, or it's taking by
No, no,
itself?
it's taken by itself.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. You can see the IP address has been changed. And DOS attack in the real life scenarios, what we do in this for DOS attack, we simply check for the server's capacity. Many, if you are going for a pen testing of the web application or the web server we are talking now. So we ask for the client, do we have the permission to perform any DOS attack on the server side? They will deny this one because in the real life scenario we can't perform this one. We can only see the security policies of the firewall that we can do over there. So it's gonna attack with a different sequence number, and you can see now the one each every length of the packet is 128. I simply mentioned over here. The bytes of the packet. So each of the size of the packet can be analyzed over here one by one, which is 128 bytes. And these packets are sending on the synchronization packet. So in this scenario, we can simply customize our own packets. So there are many other techniques that we can use over here. We can either use a domain name, brief out, show the target IP instead of the host, hide the IP address of the source. You can see over here they have given the random source IP address also. But the major part is the three-way handshake because you can see they are using the synchronization packet and we use HTTP headers. See this one, we can use the -p, the faster mode also. Remember one thing, there are many other tech blogs also if you want to learn. I especially prefer the Medium website. Go for the Medium. What is a packet crafting? Packet crafting in the network, it means that how we can bypass the filtration of any security device and customize the packet as we can want. It means fragmentation. You can see packet assembling, creation of packet, packet editing, performing modification of the created packet, packet replying, capture the series of the packet, packet decoding, analyze the packet traffic generated by the during the packet reply.
Partho, in that first line, it's saying that go up, please.
Yes,
The
sir.
first line, first, yeah, that it means that how we can bypass the filtration of any security device. Here we are talking about firewall, means how to bypass it
Yes. No, no,
via packet crafting.
by packet crafting, you can say. Yes. Because there are many techniques. We can't bypass the firewall, but we can simply penetrate their security policies over there.
Okay.
The major part is the security policy. We simply say ICMP packet is always blocked over there. You can't
Right,
ping
right.
any network device on that specific network.
Mm-hmm.
So there are lots of other things over there, one by one. So I can see the what kind of packet transmit in the network part. You can see TCP, UDP, ICP, and drop IPI, and many more types of packets that is transmit in the network communication also. You can see that an attacks can be performed by HP3 crafting packets. You can see random source attack, Smurf attack, land attack, async flood attack. These Smurf attack and land attack are basically your ICMP attack. You can see we already done the sync flood attack over here.
Mm-hmm.
That was a sync flood attack. You can see HPing3, a powerful packet crafting tool, customize any packet in any form, bypass the firewall rules. I was talking about the rules, not the firewall. Perform port scanning. We can see exploit the TCP IP stacks within the vulnerabilities. You can try over here with HPing3. You can see over here port scanning with HPing3. You can scan the port numbers with there. You can use as ping 3-S, which is your sync scan, because you sync or -S scanned from the port number 21 to 500 and the target IP address. You can try this one also over here. See if you want to simply scan the port number 80 is open or not. See sync flood attack. Sync flood is also known as a half open attack. In this attack, the attacker send multiple connection requests to perform the distributed denial service attack. You can see over here with the Wireshark, but I'm not using Wireshark because it's going to hang my server. So I simply used over here the TCP dump connection. So you can see we create some random ports number, and each of the length of the packet. The length of the packet was 128. Land attack. This is a kind of denial of service attack, which is a packet which a packet is sent to the target machine with the same address, source address and the destination address. Same address. See. So I think this kind of attack would be simply what you can say, attacking to your own self. If I use the sping command, just like this one over here, let's do clear part. Let's do clear over here. Okay, so let's try the land attack. In this land attack, we're gonna simply attack on the server side. ICMP with the port 80, and we can attack on the same IP address. Zero packet has been set. See, attacking to his own self. Land attack. But you can see it's also a synchronization packet. But I didn't set a length of the packet over here. So if you want to simply set a length, you can do this one. It's all about packet analyzing. There are many types of attack that we can follow over here. It's all up to over here. And the attacking method. Attacking to the same network. And you can see Smurf attack is also using the land attack, land type of attack, but Smurf attack is using ICMP attack, eco packet. So ICMP, if I talk about the ICMP protocol, it works on the port number 7. This kind of DDoS attack is to spoof the source IP address and send large number of ICMP packet to the target. It uses a victim address. You can see over here, there's a major part which can be used for pinging the server. But the word is over here is send and broadcast. Broadcast means simply highlight all the things in the local network. But in this scenario, you can see running the following command, check the response in the Wireshark that multiple smooth ICMP packet have been sent to the account, because we are using this flood mode with the local host assigning the same address. Let's try this one. So if I'm using HPing3 ICMP flood mode with the local server IP address. No replies will show over here, but we can see that these are some requests has been sent. The ICMP request method. See.
So what basically they are doing, we are generating the packet from another source, but it's visible that we are the source and destination are same at the victim end.
Yes, so it's like a illusion or a lure.
Okay.
So it depends on the type that you're using. We are using -A. Let's see what exactly the -A that was using over there. The -A spoof, you can see spoof the address. They are using the same IP address to be sending some packets over there. There are many further things can we do over there one by one. So the major part that we're gonna learn over here is to simply understand the core. We can try many further things. Is it clear, Ashish sir, Abhishek sir?
Yes, brother.
Yeah. So I always used to simply read the medium report, because they're really helpful. Medium reports are one of the best one, because there are different kinds of pen testers over there. They simply post their blogs over there, and you can simply learn trace out using ICMP to identify the packet. This example is similar to the famous utilized like traceroute Windows and traceroute Linux, who use ICMP packet to increasing the every times in one integral value. You can try HPing3 with many things over there. Checking ports here by HPing3 sends a synchronization packet to specific port 80. We can control also from which local port will start and then scan. Trace route, other ICMP packets, other types of port scanning, XMAX scan. You can try all this TCP scan that we have done in the scanning part. Smurf attack. assign victim address and the broadcast address. It will show the victim side. DOS LAN attack. See, it's gonna attack on the, it's a -w stand for Windows 64 architecture. -p port the port number and the source port. And -flood mode they are using with a random source with the victim IP address. See the number of packet. Oh, this is 10 lakh packets over there in a single go. So in a single go, there will be a number of packets. There. So we can try to simply send multiple packets. So you can see H3 with the firewall testing also used in various techniques. But most of the packets in the Medium part you have to sign in, and Medium will help you a lot to understanding the different pen test blocks. So I hope you guys are familiar with the HPing3 command. And if we look for the further tools, just like the how the distributed denial service works over here, you can come in bottom side. Yeah, see what are the different types of DOS attacks we can perform. Basic categories of DOS and DDoS attacks. Volumetric attack. Volumetric attack is just like overloading the server with some fake request and simply overloading the bandwidth of consumption capability. Denial of service attack performed by sending a huge amount of traffic towards the target. Volumetric attack are focused on overloading the bandwidth consumption capability. So we are not going to set any of the packets that these 1,000 packets, 2,000 packets will be sent. There will be unlimited packets. These volumetric attacks are attempt to be intention of slow down the performance degradations of services. You can see over here. But what kind of packets we use for fragmentation part? We can use the UDP, which is our ICP fragmentation part, and TCP fragmentation attack. See, DOS fragmentation attacks are the attack which fragment the IP datagram into multiple smaller size packets. These fragmented packets requires resembling and the designation, which requires resources of routers. They have given all the things that we need for the necessary parts, which can be used over here for the further stages. Think about it, if a DOS attack has been completed, there will be a lots of, according to the OSI model, because we are basically attacking on the application, but how it's going to flow in the back end of the OSI model. See, TCP state execution attack. TCP state execution attacks are focused on web server, firewalls, and load the balancer and infrastructure component to disturb the connection by the consuming the connection's state tables. TCP state execution attack result in exhausting their finite number of current connection and target devices can support. And you can see this attack can be done by the ping of death attack. I guess ping of death attack will not be done nowadays. If we try the ping of death attack, let's try a simple ping of death attack. So the ping of death attack will basically works on the ICP protocol which we use for ping command. The basic ping command that we use over here is to simply tell the server that the host is live or not. But the ping command is basically use a 64 byte of packet to be transferred. So let's see a normal ping command. What kind of ping command can perform? So if I do a ping command in the IP address, I can see a packet can be generated, which is a customized packet, constant value packet, which is 64 bytes of packet. But in the ping of death command, what will we do? We simply we can see we can manipulate the, or we can say craft the 64 bytes of packet. In the specific 64 byte of packet, we simply send 65 bytes of packet. So let me check my IP address, which is my 105, and over here I'm going to use TCP dump -i ethio, and I'm going to use SRC from the source that we're going to get the packet, which will be 120. So now this is source where the packet will be received, because now I'm the destination. So let's come to the Windows part. Let's do ping -L. -L stands for the length of the packet. So I'm going to send a number constant variable, which is 500, 6500, 500 packets. So I through the -L, it stands for length of the packet. And we're going to use -W for workers. Workers means the connection, the ICMP connections we're going to make. So I'm going to send 1000 ICMP packets, and the number of packets that I'm going to send 1000 times. -W will make a connection, TCP, a simple connection, and -number will stand for number of packets to be sent on the server side. And over here, we're going to use the IP address also. Remember the IP address. So my IP address was, if I go over here, my IP address was 105. See, so over here you can see the packet, the bytes which I'm sending right now is 6500 bytes, but the constant variable was 64 bytes, and you can see this was a TTL value 64. So let's see over here that I'm receiving a ICMP echo packet. See, an ICMP echo packet from the source, which is 120. And the packet length was the packet length from broadcasting 1 to the whole network was 33. And the length of the packet, the ICMP echo request ID 1 sequence 1 length of the packet that we sending 1480. But the major part of this ICMP is to simply consume all the memory part, slow down the memory, because it basically works on the network administrator. Total 1000 packet will be sent over here. Because due to ping blocking, this will not work now. If you simply search for the firewall on the Kali Linux, that we use IP tables. We use IP tables as a firewall in our Kali Linux. So we can use IP tables, IP chain uses. You can see this is IP tables are basically the firewall of the Kali Linux that we can use over here for the further stages one by one, and that could be manipulated by a later part. But I will say try to use the, if you're using the PCB dump that we already use on the sniffing part. So I will say Wireshark will overload because there's a GUI that will consume the memory a lot, and TCB is a CLI, so you can see all the packets over here one by one. Because I was receiving the packet from the source. So you can simply, I can simply terminate this one over here and Control C. So the number of packet has been sent 162. See, 3 were lost. We can see a timeout over here. There's a normal timeout. Is it clear, Ashish sir, Abhishek sir?
Yes, Partho.
Yes, Partho.
Yes.
Get it.
Yes. Okay.
Partho, I have one question.
Yes, sir.
that in the starting you told us about the Fortnite and the zombies about. Okay. तक हमने जितना भी पढ़ा है उसमें सारा कुछ लैन अटैक में था. अगर हमें ये अटैक परफॉर्म करना है तो सिस्टम ऑल दी सिस्टम शुड बी कॉम्प्रोमाइज्ड बाय अ वैन. करेक्ट.
Yes, sir. Because zombies are basically optimized servers, which is controlled by a single type of malware.
Malware.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Because most of the attacks are based on application layer. If an attack has been happened, so if a legitimate user can't access the application, so there could be a problem. You can see we have application layer DDoS attack is also known as 7-layer DDoS attack. Application level DOS attack is a form of DDoS attack which focus on the application layer of the OSI model, resulting in denial of degradation of the services, which is basically overload the particular service that we are not able to access the features of the website. You can try over here DOS and DDoS attack techniques. You can see bandwidth attack. Bandwidth attack basically focus on the segment traffic to consume the segment part. Bandwidth attack requires multiple sources to generate a request to overload the target. Multiple source. It means we need a bunch of armies over here. So you can see enough requests which can be overwhelm the services. This is distributed DOS attack. Is a very effective technique to flood the request toward the large bandwidth completely consume segment traffic. So I will say this will simply an attack type which is multiple, you can say compromise servers, PCs that we can use. And you can see, as we know, zombies are the compromise system which is controlled by the master computer, which is attacker. Controlling zombies through handler provides supports to initiate DDoS attacks. See, and you can see botnets defined as later in this chapter, also known as perform DDoS, which is flooding the ICMP echo packet in the network, which is your bandwidth and non-bandwidth. See, we have the legitimate traffics, but over here we have botnets and zombies, which is simply sending a large number of packets behalf of this one. Zombies to our botnets attempting DDoS attacks. By comparing the above figure, you will understand how distributed denial of service attack works by consuming the entire bandwidth. So they have given a proper way that we can use over here, one by one, and many other things. So we're gonna try the attack type. So you can see, comparing the above figure, you will understand how the distributed denial of service attack works, because they are basically focused on the zombies part, and there are many other things also. So you can see service request flood, which is your TCP flung attack, which is your synchronization flood that we already done. Service request flood attack is a DOS attack in which attacker flood the request towards the service, such as web application or web server, until the service is overloaded. When a legitimate user attempt to initiate a connection, you can see they will be denied by the server because there is already a bunch of requests has been created. You can see a TCP three-way handshake is a complete connectivity with the client and the target server. But what happens if the attacker will send a simple bogus source? Bogus source means empty source. There is no such IP addresses on the packet. It's a normal zero length packet. So if a synchronization packet has been sent by the attacker, they will send a sync plus ACK, but they are not going to accept this one because they're gonna continue sending some synchronization. Open connection waiting for the acknowledged packet from spook IP address when number of open connection exceeds to the maximum cost. You can see sync attack or synchronized flood attack, three-way handshake. The attacker may sending a lot of synchronized request to the server with the intention of tying up that system. There are lots of techniques that we can use over here, but you will see ICMP flood attack, which is also your ping of death Internet Control Message Protocol. It's a type of attack in which attacker using the ICMP request packets. It means uh, reply and response, you can say. Attacker attack using ICMP request and reply, and ICMP supporting protocol by using network devices, operation information, error initiated indications. Peer-to-peer attack. Peer-to-peer attack is just like to attacking on the same servers to performing to connectivity part. Direct connection, direct connect. Peer-to-peer DDoS attacks exploit these bugs in the peer-to-peer server to peering technology using direct contact DCC++ protocol to execute a DDoS attacks. Most of peer-to-peer network is DCC client because it's all about the awareness and it's all the TCP/IP packets are based on the TCP protocol. They are based on that. It's all about the DDoS attacks that we upload. So they have given the type of attacks over here: permanent denial of service attack. Permanent, I will say this is a normal DOS attack, which instead of focusing on the denial of service attack, focus on the hardware sabotage. You can see affected hardware by PDOS attack is damage requiring replacement or reinstalling the hardware. So I guess if we are simply attacking on the hardwares, it is also the major cause. So it will a simple one-time change or change the requirement part after an attack has been complete, which is also known as flashing, causing reversible damage of hardware, breaking a system, sending fraudulent hardware updates once this module's malicious code executed. You can see application level flood attack. Application level attacks are focused on the application level, targeting the application server or client programming running applications. Attacker finds a fault and flaw in the application or operating system and exploit the vulnerability to bypass the access control, gaining complete privilege. So this tool is basically your DDoS attack on the application part. Simply, if there is a limit, 100 limit can be exceed, but an attacker simply put 200 limits. So there will be a cause of DDoS attack on the web application part, which is also a part of a buffer overflow attack. Distributed reflection denial of service attack, which is a DRODS. Distributed reflection denial of service attack is a type of DOS attack, which is basically focus on the intermediary and victims process of launching a DOS attack. Attacker send request to the intermediary victim, which redirect the traffic towards the secondary victim. So it's like a change. I will send the first request to the first one, then it will send the second one. So if you come to the practical session, this is giving me the botnet, with what exactly the botnet is used for. Command and control, zombies. These are botnet controlled by the command control owned by the attacker and the target and the victim. Attacker compromise victim to make the bot. So that will come in bot zombies. To simply attack on the target part. So there are lots of techniques that we can use. To compromise a botnet, you have to simply compromise one of the low-hanging fruit. It means the vulnerable client on the network that we can use it over here for the further stages. So you can see botnets typically set up installation of bots on the victim by using the Trojan horse, the malware we can say. Trojan horse carries a bot as a payload which forwarded the victim by using phishing or redirecting a malicious website to the compromised legitimate website. So I guess this is a part of a malware where we can create our payloads or malicious things. Handler is the bot command and control which sends an instruction to this infected system to attempt an attacker. Scanning vulnerable machines, you can see there are several techniques used for scanning vulnerable machines, including random hit list, topological subnets, and permutation scanning. They have given a list of scanning techniques that it can use. So can we see some practical session over here also, because these are the scenario based attack. Yeah, simply they're gonna follow the sync flooding attack using Metasploit. So we can use the Metasploit also for performing a DOS attack on the server. So if you look over here, case study, they have given us case study over here. They are going to use a sync flood on the Windows 7 machine, and they're going to attack on the port number 21, which is our FTP port. So you can use MSF console, and they're going to use the auxiliary DOS TCP sync flood. So let me show you this attack over here. So we have the 120. So let's try to attack on the with the help of Metasploit. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's search DOS. Okay, there are lots of DOS attacks over here. I simply search the DOS. You can see auxiliary DOS TCP flood. TCP flood. Let's try to use this one. Use auxiliary. Let's do options. We can see the R host, the target host we're gonna set. So we're gonna perform timeout 500 seconds. We're gonna use only the R host. Set R host, the IP address. You can simply change the port number according to your own need, but I'm gonna use the same port. The R host has been set. Let's be clear. Before that one, I'm going to use the TCP dump again. I'm going to check the packet analysis part. So number of packet will be 1000 only. -I ETO DST. Let's use run command. So it's going to run on the port number 80. And over here, I can see they're basically attacking with the synchronization packet. But the packet is empty. And they are using the sync packet attack. Yes. So there are different types of attacks that we can try over here, and it's going to attack on the port 80 over here. But if there is a services running, suppose there is a services running over there, so what would be the possibilities? So if there is a Wireshark is running in this proper network, so they can also analyze where the packet is coming from. There are different types of methods that we can use over here, but we have to simply set the services which we want to attack, because it's running on the port 80 only. So you can see they're using the same technique. Use auxiliary DOS sync flood. Set R host port number. You can set the S host, the service host. If you want to spoof your IP address, SMS spoof, and you can set the time you want. Exploit. You can consume the task manager of the server. They're gonna use the capacity. Wireshark can set the filter to TCP desired packets. Yeah, those were TCP packets that we were using on the port, but we are using the port number 80. So one by one, all the techniques are there that we can use. HPing3, see, they are using HPing3 command also for the synchronization packet, and I guess we already use this command. It's all about the TCP and UDP port, how we can make a connectivity. But I will say not the UDP, only the TCP port. Some of the application from the UDP port, we can simply make it unstable. And the countermeasures are the important part. Detection techniques, there are several ways to detect and prevent DOS and DDoS attacks. Activity profiling. monitoring the activities running on the systems and network. By monitoring the traffic flow, DOS and DDoS attack can be observed by using analysis of the packet address. Wavelength analysis. Wavelength-based signals analysis is the automated process of detecting DOS and DDoS attack by analyzing the input signals. This automated detection is used to detect volume-based anomalies. Switchation check point detection. Constant change point detection is an algorithm which is used to detect denial of service attack. The detection technique uses non-promulgated sum to detect traffic pattern. See, the countermeasures are depends. Protect secondary victim, detect and neutralization handlers, enable ingress, using anti-malware mitigations, using reverse proxy, absorbing the attack. These are the things which is given over here for the DDoS and DDoS attacks. It's all about the implementations of the rules and some defending against botnets. We can see some Cisco's part over here, RPC filtering part, black hole filtering, enabling TCP intercept on Cisco iOS softwares. So there are lots of things that we can use over here one by one, and you can see a proper roadmap, denial of service attack and DOS attacks, how we can simply use it to secure our network part. That is a major part over here. Filtering out all the network part. So this is all about your DDoS attack, the denial of service attack. But I will say kindly read about the medium reports. There are lots of medium reports that can be used over here for more technical part.